Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew Neville, and one of the questions I get with regard to treating adrenal fatigue is the importance of healthy fats. And a lot of my patients will tell me, "Oh, but I eat, healthy fats." I'm like, "Well, what's your definition of healthy fats?" Right? Because everybody's definition is a little bit different, right? So I want to talk about how incredibly important your diet is with respect to adrenal fatigue and your fat intake. For many decades, we've had this information come to us that fat is bad, right? That fat in our diet is problematic, especially saturated fat, because saturated fat is going to jump from your food through your digestive tract into your arteries and cause atherosclerosis and give you a heart attack, and you'll die if you eat saturated fat. So that theory, right, called the lipid hypothesis, is a little outdated, and it's certainly not that simplistic, the whole process. So I want to clarify some issues regarding fat. First off, I'm a naturopathic doctor, right? So I tend to defer to the wisdom of nature and believe that food should be as it was put on the earth. So the idea is, if you can picture it growing or grazing, you can eat it, right? So, the idea of milk or cheese having fat in it, I believe that's a perfect food. The fat was there, we should probably eat the fat. The same thing goes with eggs, right? Where, we had this big controversy about cholesterol, from eggs and jumping into our blood supply and our arteries and clogging them up. And they figured, well, eggs are bad because they have lots of cholesterol. That'll give you a heart attack. Then they actually studied what they came out in the media and said, and realized that actually people that consume more eggs, actually have less heart attacks. What that means is the conversation is way bigger than that, right? It's much more complex. So one thing we do know is that every adrenal hormone, all right, every adrenal, what they call steroid hormones, so cortisol, DHEA, aldosterone, pregnant, all these hormones, they are all made from cholesterol. Cholesterol is absolutely essential in our diet, not to mention the cholesterol that the liver makes from saturated fat, right? Cholesterol is absolutely essential in our diet to be able to make adequate stress hormone, because we need these stress hormones, right? I know I give them a bad rap quite a bit because of all the damage they cause, but they're essential. We have to have them. So having that substrate with which to build those hormones is really a crucial thing. So the first kind of tip is, do not fear saturated fat. Like a lot of people think, oh, I eat healthy fats, I'll eat these vegetable fats, no saturated fats, things like that. That's the wrong way to go. You want to lean towards these saturated fats. So if we're eating whole foods, right, real foods, right, I lean towards a hypoglycemic diet for adrenal patients, and that means more protein and fat. Get it from animals. Right? It really is the healthiest way we can get protein and fat together in nature, a variety of meats, less processed stuff. Get the healthiest stuff you can, but meats and fish and seafood, and as long as you're not allergic, dairy, eggs, these have a wonderful combination of protein and fat, and it's that good fat, right? Believe it or not, this healthy fat is a saturated fat. Again, for fear of saturated fats, we throw coconut oil out. Bad for you, like avocados even, right? Because they have these saturated fats. Those and olive oil are probably the only vegetable source fats that I like my patients to consume. The vast majority of all the other vegetable source fats are processed, right? And hydrogenated, and they have trans fats, things like that. And we know very specifically that it's all these trans fats, especially when you cook them, they turn into these kind of carcinogenic, right, or mutagenic molecules that nick and damage things within the body. So things like corn oil and soybean oil and even canola oil, things like that. And there's no canola bean that produces oil, right? It's named from Canada. So it's weird and artificially manufactured. Vegetable sources of fats, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, nut butters, things like that are fantastic for us. Then all these saturated fats, believe it or not, I know it sounds weird, but research it, right? Challenge it, research it, look into it. but those, animal sources of protein and fat are really crucial. Even butter, believe it or not, which has all this amazing fat, and it's a wonderful source. So healthy fats, animal fat, a few different vegetable sources. Stay away from the processed fats, all those trans fats, hydrogenated oils, things like that. All right. All my best.